Last night, right?
Good morning, Salty.
Yeah.
Good morning. Good morning. Spur of the moment live.
Yeah, we're live now. Hey, everybody. So, y'all know me. I do rants and everything else you can't really say anywhere else
No,
because
we
you're
don't
afraid.
know you. Who are you?
I am the only
What's going
28
on?
hours.
You
Well,
normally don't have a live stream set or scheduled. Last one you had looked like 3 months ago, unless you are really pissed off about something.
I pretty much am because, I was watching Kaylee's videos. Kudos, by the way. And I also caught Tainted stream the other night a little bit also. And I just wanted to address some things because I was really listening to what she was saying when Kaylee was posting it on hers.
So you're upset at Stinky Inky?
Yeah, I'm sick of the lying. Now she's trying to say that Jim and Mark were not there when she got there. That isn't what she originally told me. She told me they were not on panel when she went up there.
Ooh,
So
I'm
she
gonna have to
keeps
grab some
changing the
coffee for this.
story,
Let me grab a cup of
and I'm
coffee
getting
for this
sick of
one.
it.
I want you to tell me all about it. Let's talk about it.
All right. I'll let you
Breathe.
get your coffee.
Breathe. It's still early.
Yes. I was just enjoying one of Kaylee's videos, and I noticed that what she had posted, and I just wanted to also put in my 2 cents. Because out of everybody else, I was there that night. Because
Tell us about it.
Tainted got a hold of me. Coincidentally, at the same time, Grateful Nomad was trying to reach Kaylee to get us to go over to Johnny's and pretty much come to her defense because she had told me she was on panel. I heard about Jim making Johnny cry and all that. And she goes, and I was up on panel, and all of a sudden, Jim and Mark showed up. And Toe Jam was sitting there saying somebody called Jim. She never said anything to me about being in the chat, wanting a link. So I don't know where she was getting off saying that. So here I jump in, dumb me, only to get jumped and then blocked and then muted and all that good junk. At the same time, she's sitting on panel. By the time I got there, Jim and Mark were leaving. And Jim made a comment that you need him for content. So the first thing I posted was Salty doesn't need Jim for content. Jim needs Salty for content. And I got jumped. She doesn't say anything. And every comment I was trying to post in chat, I had Sea Org and that Nance chick shooting me down. So, unbeknownst to me, I didn't realize that she had been there begging for a link, and I had thought stupidly that Jim and Mark were never there until she got up on panel. Thankfully, Kaylee got me to see sense because it became a pretty upsetting matter between all of us. And she got me to see sense. And what pisses me off is I defended her. And she had lied to me. I don't like that. Because that makes me look like a dumbass. I don't like to be wrong. I'm a Virgo. Virgos don't like to be wrong.
Well, I think a lot of us defended her and tried to be her friend at first until she flipped her gears real quick and exposed pretty much herself.
Yes. And Kaylee convinced me to go back and watch the video. And then I seen Mark and Jim were already up on panel. Now we got Tainted on her channel crying, saying that everybody's being mean and attacking me. Nobody was attacking her. She did it to herself. Just like Marzi Girl did it to herself. I mean, you had given Marzi Girl every opportunity and under the sun to bow down and keep her mouth shut, and we wouldn't go there, but she chose to press the issue. And that's because our wonderful Kathy Waters, I love that pit bull, she wasn't going to let it lie. And that's all Marzi Girl had to do was just let it go. Tainted, same thing. She just decided to lie, and I do not like to be lied to. Not at all. Not used in that way, because I can be loyal to a fault, and I'll defend somebody to the end. You know that from when I was over at Doug's, and now I do it for you.
I put $500 on the line and said, Margie girl, if I'm wrong, I'll pay you $500 right now. She's out borrowing money from everybody else. $5 here, $10 there, $100 there from Steve. Whatever she could get her fucking claws on.
Yeah.
And she lied. She played the biggest victim pretender on our panel about being about the assault of almost getting raped and killed, and I hit him in the balls, and then he backed off me, and that was that. And then they took him to the hospital because I hit him in the balls. You fucking lying shit.
Yes.
They don't take him to the hospital, Marzi.
No, not unless it's life-threatening.
And then you don't have a goddamn trial conviction in the same month.
Nope, let alone the same week.
She does not know how the court system works. She doesn't know how the jail, because this is a gal who bragged about she's never gotten in trouble. Great. When you don't get in trouble, you don't know how the shit works. I've been in trouble. I know how it works. I don't like to brag about it, but I'll tell you how it works. You don't have a charge and a trial within the same. Well, could you? Possibly if it was a speedy trial, but not like a trial. No, that's too quick.
You can maybe get a 24-hour temporary restraining order, but that's about it.
And then the guy was sentenced to prison?
Yeah, ain't happening. Not in a month.
She's a fucking nutcase. I called the police department. I asked for their fucking public records for their booking. Nobody was booked in that night for any kind of disturbance at her address. There was nothing at the court records, no trial dates, no nothing. There was absolutely nothing. We put a FOIA request in, nothing. So we knew without a doubt, we were absolutely right that she made all that shit up. And then what, a couple days later, a week later, she tries to hit us with a phony ass police report. Everything's fucking blacked out. Everything.
Yeah, and that all would have been written in pen, especially her copy.
Everything was blacked out down to the most quickest, simplest, retarded. Oh, I better not say that word. Crazy police.
It was a false report.
Narrative.
And that in itself is fucking illegal.
Well, I mean, I can say the police came over right today. They arrested me, took me to jail. Here's a police report.
Well, yeah.
That wouldn't be illegal.
No, but claiming to have victimized that way.
It's a moral thing. It's a moral thing to come on a panel when we had that many people to play a victim. Now that you know that she plays a victim, she's over at other channels who play victim. These people get along. That's where they hang out. Like minds think alike.
And for Tainted to sit there saying we were endangering her daughter, nobody was endangering her daughter. She is endangering her daughter by being on YouTube and exposing herself and putting herself out there. If anybody endangers her daughter, it's her.
Rhea has exposed herself. And nobody doxed her. Nobody said anything about Rhea. Rhea came out and says, I have a public 501 nonprofit, which means she just exposed and doxed herself.
Exactly, which means she put her own daughter in danger if that's what she's worried about.
And now when you have a lady like this saying she's in federal custody for witness protection, how the fuck are you under a witness protection in federal custody when you're on YouTube?
They drop you like a hot potato for doing stuff like that.
Accepting cash apps and then bragging about your 501 that has all your fucking personal information on it.
Exactly. And to sit there and say, well, you could dox us all. Well, honey, I got news for you. We've all already been doxed. There's nothing you can add to it. There's nothing you can add to it, no matter how much you think you can. So how are you going to say that you're keeping your mouth quiet and you're not saying anything and not fighting back and we're just being mean? No. That whole fucking thing she was doing the other night, that whole live was a joke.
Oh, it's a poor me, fucking fake poor me. I'm a victim, fake poor me. I'm a victim. Hey, does any of you guys feel sorry for me? I need a loan. Bill, can I get some money? Bill, can I get some money from you, please? She's a fucking user.
She betrayed us.
She is an old school Okay, she's in her fucking 50s. Let's admit it. She's an old school gold digger.
Hmm.
She's an old school gold digger.
And what really pisses me off is when push comes to shove, the person she hurt the most was Kaylee, our Kaylee.
Yeah, she don't care a fuck about hurting anybody. She only cares about herself.
And she wanted to sit on that live and cry about her friendship being ruined with Kaylee. Well, you know what, bitch? You ruined it. You lied to me, you lied to Salty, and worst of all, you hurt Kaylee, the youngest one of us all, the one who works really hard and drives herself nuts over this.
You know, Tainted does not have a doctorate degree. We looked into her. We know her name. We background checked her. She's a fucking phony.
Yeah, she's got no doctrine.
She's a phony. She's about as fake as it gets. I already told you who she is. She's a fake. Back in the day, you got remember. Let's rewind about in her 20s and 30s. This is when she was at her prime, thinking she was the shit. Okay, and that's what she thought. She thought she was a Barbie doll, and she uses
She got
people,
old.
okay, and she's a gold digger. That's all she's ever been. And then she's a victim player. And she'll play it the worst. She's the type that will even throw the fucking fake tears. Whatever
Oh,
she
yeah.
can do to play the role and act, that's what she does.
Yep. And I didn't appreciate her using me to go to bat that night. And she wanted to sit on her panel and cry, oh, well, I was in the chat way before they even showed up. Well, bitch, you know what? We know they don't really talk in chat, especially on other channels. They just go right up on panel. And that isn't what you had told me in the beginning. You said they were not on panel when you first got up there, and that was a bold-faced lie. And as your friend, I went over there to help defend you. I never heard you say anything about protecting Kaylee or even defending Salty. The only one who defended Salty that night in chat was me, and I got jumped because you falsely got me over there. And at the same time, that bitch Grateful Nomad was trying to get Kaylee to go over. But she slipped up and said, Jim's waiting for you, and Kaylee was like, well, I ain't going over there. Because who wants to deal with that dumbass anyway? And
All these
granted,
people,
at
all
the
these
time
people,
when I thought her narrative was true, I felt that if she would have got off panel when they showed up, that would have been worse. But they were already there.
all these people congregate together. They're the same group of people. Okay, you got Tony 801 and Nick Malone running around together like boyfriend and girlfriend, fucking people's channels up. You got Tainted, Grateful Nomad, Sea Org, Pencil Artist. Fuck, I could keep going. There's a network of these people, and that's what they do.
There is. And to sit there and say, oh, I think Jim has a crush on me. You know what, bitch? That is the wrong guy you want to be proud of having a crush on you, if he even likes girls.
It wouldn't even be a point about having a crush on Jim. It's the fact that she would even say that about someone being a victim that she is, about domestic violence, and an advocate for the victims themselves. I mean,
there's a reason why they don't have those things public, because it's meant to be private to protect those that are using those resources.
That's what she's doing. She's using those resources. Just using again. Let's take, for instance, her gambling. Immediately I asked her straight up, I said, this is legit, right? Because if it was legit, we'd be doing it.
Yeah.
If it was legit, we'd be doing the same thing, you know, as for shits and giggles, something fun. So I asked her straight up, I'm like, is this legit? Oh, yes, this is legit. She's in California. She doesn't live in Las Vegas or Nevada. And I think you can gamble in California, but I don't know the rules about playing bingo for money on YouTube. I gave money away. I gave it away because there was no way to do what she was doing legally. So I just thought, I'll appreciate my members, recognize them every Friday. But then she came out with bingo, and I was like, well, this is really cool. This is exciting. Can
Oh
you?
yeah, in theory, that was fun.
And when she started to do it for cash, and then I watched how she funneled it. She did it on the premise of it's charity, your charity donation.
Which in itself would be for a good cause, but I haven't seen anything for that charity
But
going
it
towards
can't.
her
But
corporation.
it can't be for charity if she's paying out money.
Exactly.
Okay.
Charities don't pay out money.
Charity is where you give, you don't receive. So
Hmm.
she manipulated the wording, and obviously she did it because she knows it's not legal.
And to say, and you know what? The only ones that got refunded was Salty, Kaylee, and myself. And you know what? I only got refunded back $8, and I put in a lot more than that.
She refunded me $110.
Yep, and you probably donated far more than that, and same as Kaylee.
Oh, I could show you some receipts from Steve.
Yeah, and oh yeah, Steve got his shirt finally. Big whoop-diddy-doo-dah. That's still beside the point.
Well, she was waiting for Bill to go buy the damn sweater.
That's true. That's her little pocket purse.
She got mad at me when I started the merch. Everybody was asking for merch. Salty, when's the merch gonna come out? And I was more focused, concerned on the cases than I was merch. I wasn't really worried about merch. I wasn't really worried about none of that. But after months, it took 10 months. And then I said, okay, I'll find something. I'll find a vendor. I'll do all the branding and the designs, and I'll find a legit vendor. Someone
And you had
who
people coming out of the woodwork trying to offer to do it for you, and you wanted to find somebody true.
I needed someone. I didn't want to rely on a friend. You don't mix friends with any kind of business, and it just becomes a clusterfuck.
Oh, exactly. You never work with friends or family or do business with them.
I don't know Tainted enough to run people's credit cards and payments through her. I didn't know Tainted enough to trust her to have people's addresses. And so I thought, and I didn't trust her enough to make sure that these orders were shipped out and delivered on time.
Look at how long it took her to get out anybody's winnings that she did do.
Over a month. So I picked a vendor that I trusted and that had no connection to YouTube, no connection to people's addresses, no connection to people's payments. So I didn't get blamed for anything. Oh, my bank account was drained. It had to have been Salty. You know, they come up with all kinds of stupid shit.
They do. And they do it just to try to cause drama. And I think you did it the smart way. Because Kayana also offered to do it through her daughter, and you had turned it down.
I turned it down because I didn't want to bring people that I know involved into an affair ultimately that could put boundaries between each other.
And see, Nicole G's even waiting for her shirt from Tainted.
January 8th. Wow. February 8th, March. That's over 2 months. Everybody who's ever won on our channel got paid that day or a day the next day when I verified it. Everybody. And everybody has received their merchandise, and I haven't received or heard about one complaint to date, other than they wish the sticker was more transparent. So when they put it on their windshield, it was the transparent instead of like the white square spot. And I'm trying to like figure that out too, but
you're listening to the feedback.
Everything's been good with us, yes. So what happened with me and Tainted? There was one time Kayana offered to do the merch, and she was doing things behind my back, sending Marzi like.
Yeah, she actually did a shirt. She had a shirt done for me when I was really going to go through Amazon like Kaylee had done. And I'm thinking, well, I'll do what Kayana was doing, and it was the wrong logo. And then I found out she didn't even have your permission, which I should have asked you about first, but I wasn't thinking. I was excited. A Salty t-shirt.
Yeah, I had no idea about any of that. And it, she sent it to you for free, and that's cool. But
No,
don't
I
have a
paid for it.
and I don't. Oh, you did.
Yes, I paid for it. I paid $20, I think, and that was to get it. I bought the shirt and for it to be shipped to me. I sent her the money and she sent it to her daughter. Apparently, that's what she said. I have no reason to mistrust that part.
So a business deal with my stuff.
Yes.
That's fun. Who cares? It all rooted back to Salty, so who cares? It was $20. That ain't gonna make or break anybody. Tainted was learning about us starting like the merch and the Salty stuff, and then she started going live talk. And then what was she doing? She was going live, showing herself doing screen printing, and her live started consisting of, and she switched gears real quick, and her live started consisting of her doing the screen printing, and then telling us how screen printing works, and you should get the drawstrings with the metal tips. And I'm like, lady, these people can't afford $60, $70 sweaters.
Yeah, they just want something that is going to be durable, that has their favorite Salty logo, of course.
Right. And then here comes the point of trying to negotiate a business with something like this. Okay, Tainted. Yeah, you can do the merch. What do you want to sell a sweater for? Well, I need to make at least $20. I understand it's your stuff, so you can make $5 and we'll sell the sweater for $30. Okay, so all the profits would have to go to her off my stuff.
Yeah, and that doesn't make any sense from a business perspective why you would do that.
And there is no profits. I made $109 for over 60 items sold. There is no huge profits unless you are outsourcing the material yourself, bulk, through Alibaba or wherever you can get sweaters for $5 that will fall apart after the first washing.
Sweatshops, yeah.
But in order to get a good quality material, that's the first thing people look at when they look at the print. They're excited, then the material. Do you want like to wear a sheet, or do you want to wear a good shirt? So an average t-shirt you can get Alibaba between $3 and $5 at bulk. Your print and your labor another $7-8 per shirt. So you sell the shirt for $30. You can make what, $15 for all that work to go through all that, and YouTube at the same time, and work at the same time, and have a family at the same time.
That's a lot. That's a lot to demand.
Too much. And then getting a printer for the label to ship it out, and just too much, way too much. Mind fuck. So it was easier to outsource, to get a trusted vendor, let them deal with it. They don't take they're not going to give people who hate Salty your credit card numbers or your addresses. Can you imagine the falling out that we've had between me and Tainted and the shit that she's doing now?
Oh, I can only imagine, because
this would have shown on her behavior and her character real quick.
And then to have the gall to sit there and cry about it over on her channel, like she did on her channel, spewing her lies about what was going on. I mean, absolute and utter lies. I found it so completely daunted. I should have fucking jumped in and said something, but I wasn't going to give her the satisfaction of getting one of us to go in there and say something. Oh, I bet you're watching. Well, you know what, bitch? I only ended up watching was because it showed up as a preview on my homepage when I opened my YouTube that night. And it started playing, and I heard Salty's name mentioned, and I heard Kaylee's name mentioned. And so, yeah, I tuned in to see what the hell was being said. And it was gross. It was gross. And to sit there and kept changing her story about what went on that night, that was just wrong. It's okay to go to other channels. Yeah, that's fine. You want to go to other channels like American Honey and Fast Eddie, they all go to other channels. It's no big deal. But they're also not going there spewing lies and trying to cause shit. Now, when you go to other channels, especially channels attacking us or channels affiliated with those attacking us and getting up on that panel and not even really defending us, now that's bullshit, especially when you're a mod for that said channel. That's not right.
I see American Homie in every live stream. You know, she goes
Yeah, but
around and watches, but
she's too
she's not.
salty.
But she's not over there being like, yeah, fuck all those people and screw Salty and then you look at him like, dude, you just got a tattoo and you're over at Tainted's talking about cheese and wine.
Yeah, she's not over there though. I didn't see her over there that night. I saw Fast Eddie pop in for a moment, but he goes everywhere as well. But they don't sit there and bash us.
No, Fast Eddie specifically, that dude's everywhere. Johnny
Yeah,
Yarbrough,
he's everywhere.
Tainted Inks. That dude don't discriminate. He don't care. He don't care who's fucking feuding with who. He'll watch who he wants is, but he's never over there feeling that fire.
No, he's not. Nor is he running over here to say, guess who said what and when.
No, he's actually congratulating American Honey as another proud sponsor of all the live streams. Look at Crazy Brat. Her too.
Oh, hey, Crazy Brat. Good morning. Yeah,
People can do what they want. I always found it suspicious to me when a creator starts to control his members and subs and the environment. Don't mention that creator's name. Don't post that link. Don't go over there. Those guys are bad. That's kind of that's a cult following.
Oh yeah, and when I was over at Doug's stream, heaven forbid you brought up another creator. You know?
No, to these people, they look at it as a shopper. Okay, Walmart doesn't want to lose shoppers to Target, but Walmart's not screaming to every customer that comes in everything bad about every other customer coming from Target.
No. And the way I see it, you should allow other creators to be mentioned in chat in a positive light or what so have you, because that opens the avenue for new viewers. That was one of the reasons why I wanted to create the Facebook fan club page that I was going to create and allow every creator there, you, even JT, as long as the creators realize that they can only be a fan for somebody else there. It was a way for them to build their audience, to get new viewers. And because we had so much mudslinging on YouTube, and this is before I left Doug's, I wanted to give a place for those fans that were starting all this, someplace they can do it other than YouTube. So they can get it off their chest, because it was getting ugly even then. And then, of course, Doug thought I was trying to be a traitor spy for Jim, and because I had invited, I sent it out to all the creators. I invited all the creators' fans. I didn't discriminate. But I gave up on that idea because it was just, Doug just totally ruined it for me. But, hey.
Doug had 40 people watching his interview with Candace last night. You know, it's like one of those things where it's like you don't want to keep milking it, but he keeps milking it. Milk it. But there's no more milking it. Now it's so dry, it brings nothing no more. Nobody would. People ain't convinced with Candace's story, and a lot of people on the other spectrum are convinced. Okay, it's always black and white. But a lot of the
careful driving, Steve. Don't text and drive.
A lot of the things she says don't make sense. I'm driving home from Wendover. Damn it, Steve. I could have came out and visited. He probably had to go to like the grocery store, the hardware.
And see, Steve was a good man too. I mean, he got victimized.
To be honest, Steve was a victim.
Let's see. Fast Eddie said about the interview with Candace, he said, hey, but that, there we go.
That interview was good, Fast Eddie.
And Justice, I hope that your husband's doing better.
We learned that Brenner could operate a phone and film himself committing a murder at the same time.
I still find that awfully suspicious.
We learned that Brenner can get rid of a body without a trace of a drop of blood. Apparently, not a bloodhound, not a cadaver dog, not a drone, not Heavy D, not even Ty could find Dylan, but they found the shirt.
Yep, they found a shirt, but we don't know how soon they found that shirt. Though they could have found that shirt right out the gate.
Well, and stole it, then it's not admissible. 2 weeks. 2 weeks he had out there. But that's a whole nother discussion on a whole nother.
Yes, that is.
This is about Stinky Inky. Hello.
Yeah. And you know what? Yes,
Hello,
I want to. Kayana, I'd like you to join us up here on panel if you don't mind. Let me drop that link for you. Because I'm a little confused here because I think you're seeing the wrong part of this. And I know you said you don't want to do this anymore. You don't want to get involved in all the petty shit, but unfortunately, Tainted is bringing you into it. She threw you into that box.
What Marzi did is not petty.
No.
What Marzi did is serious. Can you imagine if I pulled some stunt like that? You fucking would never even want to.
Oh, I'm going to be nice, cut and shoot. I've been being nice this whole time.
Kayana is just don't want to be placed in the middle of it all and have the.
Which I can understand. I just wanted to realize what my point of view was.
She don't want to be under. She don't want to feel like she's under pressure to choose sides.
I'm not asking her to choose sides. I just want to know.
She likes Marzi, and I'm sure she.
That's fine. She can be friends with Marzi.
And
that probably was. I just wanted to understand that.
Even seeing the proof, Kayana was still one of those friends that wanted to give Marzi another chance.
Yeah, give her another chance. My point being, though, is what she was fed about what happened that night over on Johnny's Live, that Tainted was saying was complete and utter bullshit. And yes, I had her back until I realized she lied to me. She lied. It had nothing to do with Jim and Mark being in chat. It had to do with them being on panel, and she keeps changing the story. That's all I wanted to let her know about. Because she got here late. But yeah, cut and shoot. I wasn't going to be mean.
I had told. Here's the falling out between me and Tainted. And I have the receipts. I'll show you the Facebook message that was exchanged. I kept seeing her ass over at Johnny Yarborough's, entertaining the same group of crowd that has been against us for like 10 months. The drama, feeding the drama, fueling the drama. And then I see her over there cheerleading for Jim. I'm thinking, what the fuck?
And then talking me to go over there, and then I make an appearance and get jumped, but you seen that I was in chat, and that caused problems too, and I did not appreciate that.
So and so I told her the next day, I'm like, look, it's all cool and all, but I don't, like, I'm just doing my thing. You do your thing.
That's a Marissa crowd?
That was it.
I don't really know Marissa or her crowd she can hang out. I know she used to hang out with Bella V, but that's about it.
No, Marissa has a crowd. All these people like have branched out into their own little channels. Like, you know, I didn't know Marissa had a channel until the other day. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Now she has a crowd. What, does she have a following? She's showing her nipples over there. Is she getting drunk and cheating on her husband? I don't know.
And that's all on her. That's her business.
Yeah, that's her own content, her own business. You guys see, we leave these fucking people alone.
Exactly.
We leave them alone. We do what we do. We stay in our own lane. And that's it. Johnny, I've only made a few comments about Johnny. That was it. He has a registered sex offender that lives at his fucking home. He's gay. What more do you want out of Johnny? I mean, that's the truth. Johnny called it. Jimmy Boy called his mother, apparently. Like, he's
But
called
again,
my,
how much can you really believe of coming out of Jim's mouth as well?
I don't know.
But yeah, that's Johnny's channel. And yeah, you wanted to go over, and she said she wanted to go over there to say, great, good job. Okay, I get that. But why are you lying about when Jim and Mark showed up? Why are you lying about wanting to go up on panel when they were already up there? And yet telling me you got up there and they just showed up out of nowhere. That's the part I'm mad about. It's not what you did, it's how you did it. That is the true bullshit right there. And me and Kaylee, we went at it for a minute. And I love Kaylee dearly. We're better now. We're all good now. Because Kaylee helped me realize, calm down, go and actually watch the replay. And I did. And now Tainted switching the story up. Why do you got to switch the story up? Why are you changing from what view that the problem was? And Kayana, I know you've been through it, and I still love you. That isn't what I was meaning to bring you up here for. I wasn't going to bring you up here to jump you. I just wanted you to hear from my point of view what really happened that night, because I was there. And what was said to me and how she lied to me about it.
There was no reason for us to keep going into Marzi and embarrass her even more.
No.
Okay? We're not going to start a live, make up all the shit, try to convince you it didn't happen when it really did happen. That would be really bad.
That's for everybody else to decide on their own.
I'd feel really bad and feel like shit. But when she's texting Steve talking about, oh, just talk dirty to me, that's how I can get off, and there was more going on behind the scenes.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't just a little innocent Marzi that you saw up on chat. Sending her cleavage shots, asking Steve for dick pics.
Oh, I didn't know she asked him for that. Yeah, my intention wasn't to come up here to embarrass Marzi even more. She'd done that all on her own, and she's sowing the repercussions from that.
Well, I don't know if she asked him for dick pics, but she got a pic. She obviously asked for a picture of something.
Well, I know she took a surprise picture of him without a shirt on.
But this is a gal who was just sexually assaulted and is doing this. Now she's doing this sexual shit over a phone. Anyway, I could have called live. We could have called the courts live. We could have called the jail. We could have went deep into it. We could have called the attorney. We could have fucking just, it would have been embarrassing. So we left it alone.
Yeah. And you even tried to ignore it, even though we knew it was full of shit. When she was still coming up on panel with us, you tried to ignore it, but she wanted to call out one of the members and basically try to verbally assault her from up on panel to defend her line. And that's when she got called out.
It was Kathy Waters.
Yes.
So Kathy Waters, I went to work one night and she was up and I got a notification and she made a comment. And then, no, I think maybe she texted. Anyway, I started talking to her. I called her because I was moving snow that night. And then we talked for hours and hours and hours. And then she started bringing up to the fact that she didn't believe in what Marzi was saying. So we went into a long discussion about it. And I told her, I was like, yeah, well, I called the courts. We did a FOIA request. The FOIA request came back empty. That's how we knew we nailed Marzi. That's how we knew with a certain of a doubt that it didn't happen. The FOIA request came back empty. It didn't happen. So that's what I told Kathy Waters. Kathy Waters goes into chat. She sees Marzi up on panel, and Kathy is knowing this, and I'm knowing this, but I didn't get involved.
And at the time she's up there on panel discussing it still.
And she's screaming out to Kathy Waters, like, tell me who told you. And I said, well, fuck it. I told her.
Yeah.
I looked into you, Marzi. And if you really want the truth, I'll tell everybody the truth. It didn't happen.
And you were trying to let her save face and just let it go. because I was up on panel with you when that happened. And I could tell you were ignoring it when she kept wanting to push it. You kept ignoring it, and finally you just had enough of it. So Marcy wasn't attacked. Marcy wasn't jumped from us on panel. When I say she wasn't attacked, I mean she wasn't attacked by us either. We tried to give her an out to save face. And Tainted, she was never attacked by us also. I
No.
mean, you're sitting there wanting to say that you never said anything bad about Jim and you would never do anything, you never said anything bad about anyone. Bullshit. I'm calling you out right now. Bullshit. You are the one that helped exposing and Salty and Kaylee and me to try to get us to fill out that incident report to press charges against Jim.
That's right. What she's doing so she's doing the flip-flop now. And I'll tell you how she's doing it. She's flip-flopping. First, she comes to all of us. And then she tells us all how to file these reports against Jim and Mark. But specifically Jim. That's what she said. She literally came over to us when we very first met her. How to go after Jim, what to do, what Fed papers to file. And to be honest, she said she filed the same papers against Jim. Okay. She told us she filed reports, federal reports against Jim. Then what does she do after the fallout here? She's playing victim, going to cry to Jim, saying she needs help to file federal reports against us. Are you fucking kidding me? This is like you don't need to expose these people. They'll expose themselves right in front of you.
And what I'd like to know is she had made a comment that I just now caught and was really thinking about. When we were being attacked by Mike Riley, she told me that she was going on a road trip, and then I hear her mention, I think it was in that live that night, where she goes, she showed up on someone's front doorstep to have a talk with them. Well, that was an awfully short road trip if that's what you did from California to Oklahoma. I know it takes quite a few hours to get that distance. I mean, you're sitting there saying that you're from that same area, same tribe. Okay. But it still didn't stop him at the time. I mean, thank God he's been good with us now and quiet with us now, so I'm not attacking him. He can do his own thing. But the point being, you were sitting there saying that, trying to help us to file charges against him as well. And yet you welcomed him on your panel. That don't make sense. And you did it at the same time Salty was up there trying to do like what you were saying, talk about when he was victimized or whatever. You know what? Why would you do that? I mean, her whole for panels for victims to help them because they were victimized is a bunch of bullshit. You're just giving them a bigger target.
Well, Lacey Ann, we definitely know what address she has. I just didn't want to name it in a live and feel like we're doxing her. Listen, you can't dox someone who has a public nonprofit 501 and then brags about it online.
No.
So she can run to Jim with her poor me. I'm a victim player. I need help to file federal reports against Salty for doxing me. Are you fucking nuts? Like, here, just call me and we'll call him together. There's no reason to run to Jim. Unless you're looking for, you're a sissy and needs like some more help. She's one of those, those people who get in a fight and they can't do it themselves and they need their friends to jump in. And the guy is always, before they get in the fight, the guy looks back at their friends and like, are you going to help me? Going to help me fight this guy? I can't do it by myself.
And you want to refer to us as keyboard warriors or whatever you want to call it, like we're some kind of people that can only attack on panel or behind a keyboard? No.
Can you imagine taking every one of her lives that have public display of domestic abuse in it or involving someone domestic, and you send it to these people who write out these 501s and are responsible to make there's truth and transparency in these 501s. She is advocating as a domestic violence an advocator. Okay.
Which in itself is something that is for the victim's own safety is supposed to be kept private and also not to put out there for everybody and their mother.
It's no different than someone saying, well, I'm a advocate for sexually trafficked children, but then you're on a live stream whose atmosphere is involved in child pornography.
Or even being explicitly sexual.
So there's a lot of hypocrite in her character, a lot of two-face, a lot of non-truth. The whole gambling thing was a fraud. Yeah, wipe that slate clean. Move on.
Exactly. But yeah.
But we tried, Alice. We tried. But then our fucking names. It's like they got to keep talking about you.
Mm-hmm.
And then the same people who say, well, they're talking about us. No, you're talking about us.
We're reacting. You wanted a reaction, you're getting a reaction, and it's not my fault you don't like it.
Well, it's a bad way to try to get a reaction. Knowing that you're a fraud and a phony and a fake, but yet you're trying to get a reaction to prove what? That you're not a phony and a fake and a fraud? The exposure will just keep coming in the negative. There's nothing positive that would come out of Tainted Ink, Jim Terry, Mark. Well, Mark associates himself with all the drama. Marzi Girl.
I mean, and the people that actually condone that kind of entertainment is just as sick-minded, especially when we show the proof to back up what we say, and all they've gotten to do is prove lies.
Lies and fake tears, right, Lacey? Lies and fake tears. It was so funny watching her cry about Kaylee the other day on her panel. Oh, and
that is what really upsets me, because Kaylee really thought of her as a really close friend, and she hurt her. She hurt her deep, more so than when Jim was threatening her family and anybody else. And Kaylee's got thick skin, as do I.
Oh, absolutely. We knew Lacey who it was. We knew it was tainted. Matter of fact, I had a discussion with Alice and Kaylee and exposing. I'm like, someone in this group. Someone, because how it worked is there was a my pay stub, because people were questioning me about my fucking child support. Do you pay child support, Salty? Of course I pay child support. 2 kids. And so I showed it. I showed it in a group chat. Not that I had, because I showed all my friends receipts. Ranger, everybody. They were always the first to see the truth before it started getting aired on YouTube. That's why everybody knew the truth. Everybody knows the truth beforehand. And then I sent out a pay stub, and it had.
I gotta go and grab a cigarette, so keep talking for me, please.
And it had my work. It had my work name logo on the pay stub. And I didn't even see that part. I didn't even see that part because I started to try to think real hard, real quick. How the fuck did they find out so quick where I worked? Ty didn't drive by. We have cameras. We're watching surveillance all the time. Ty didn't drive by it.
No, they tried to make you think he did.
There's only a 2 ways, one way in, one way out where I live, and it just U shapes, and we live at the very bottom. So we know the neighbors, we know people driving by. There's a pattern. So we watch. Nobody came to me to my clients. Ty's full of shit. It came from Tainted.
Yeah,
And
and
we
Kaylee
and
and I
we
didn't
knew.
even realize that till her and I started talking after our blowout.
We
Then we
knew it
started
came
putting two
from
and two together.
Tainted, especially as quick as she was running to gym. And then boom, she took that where I worked and everything else, and she ran to gym with it. And then immediately Jim, he went on the hunt.
And Salty was trying to have a group chat with with the members, and she made him out to be a rat. Made us think that it was Kayana. Made us think it was suspecting all these other people.
Well, there was only you, Lacey Ann, Kaylee exposing Kayana and Tainted and Steve Olson in these group chats.
Well, there were a few people, I believe. Edie Ruth was in one of them in that one group chat as well as.
You're right. Edie Ruth left us, you guys, because she believed Marzi.
And I never seen anybody work so hard to become one of our members as her.
She left because she believed Marzi, and I was lying. The courts were lying. The jails were lying. The FOIA request was lying. Everybody else was lying, but Marzi, and that's okay.
Yeah, Stacy was in there too, and Stacy, she had to take a little break from YouTube because of her career. That's her choice. It isn't anything fishy that I know of.
No, and I addressed what Stacy had done in the chat too about who was
I
on
believe
panel.
that an inmate had threatened her life, so she backed away for her own safety. See, that's what you do when your life is threatened. You don't just put yourself out there more.
Stacy was mad at me, I think, because Stacy was a mod on our channel, and I de-wrenched her because she attacked. Lacey, help me out. Who did she attack? I addressed it on Facebook. I did not come crazy at Stacy. I just said, as a mod, I don't think you should, be down there attacking a panel guest. That was rude. And then she split.
Yeah. Well, her and I went head to head when I first started going to your channel as well, and we had issues, but we worked it out. And I hadn't seen her for a minute, but yeah, I do know she was going to Bell's, but I do know she had told me that she was trying to take a break. So we don't automatically suspect everybody that tells us things. We deep dive after we see the bullshit. And that's the first time I heard about that. Stacy blocked you exposing? Now that's funny. How was she able to? Oh, she blocked you over at Bell's. Yeah, she was hiding under another name, EdT or Web or WB Tanks Mom or something like that. Oh, she blocked you too, Lacey. But yeah, her and I butt heads really bad when I first got over to Salties, which is understandable because I come from Doug's, and yes, I was very hardcore about keeping Salty out, and I even said something to Exposing once, which I did apologize for when I did come see the light. And so you're right there.
Do you feel better now that you've vented this out for the last 53 minutes?
Yes, I do. I think I'm ready to call it quits. And then if you wanted to do another live on your channel, you can. Is there anything else you want to say you can't say there?
Well, no, whatever I'll say here, I'll say there. No, I'm gonna go live about the cases later. I don't want to go live and keep talking about
this. Yeah,
that's what we've been trying to avoid for how long now?
I know. I just couldn't be quiet about it now, and I'd rather have vented on my channel than to drag it over to yours because we have been very studious about not going there.
Well, just be grateful Tainted only has like 4 or 5 people watching, and 3 of those are on panel.
Yeah.
Okay. There's nothing. Everything that she's tried, it's small-minded to even sit here and keep addressing it.
It is.
You've addressed the fact that she runs her mouth, she talks shit, she's a liar. Nothing that she says could be taken credible. Everybody knows your panel, the people in chat. They're not stupid. They watch. They know. They might not engage, but they know.
Yeah.
Or they wouldn't be here.
And yeah, in my channel, it isn't for true crime or even for entertainment. It's just a safe place to rant, to really rant and vent. And even if you're wrong, you're wrong. And I'm the type that can admit when I'm wrong, but I'm not wrong about this one. And I just wanted to clear the air for some people. And I do appreciate all of you coming over and showing your support. I do appreciate that.
You feel better? Like you need a virtual hug?
Yes, thank you for the virtual hug.
Everybody giving you a virtual hug.
Let's see 333 for Salty for joining me up here and helping me vent.
Oh, 333 is universal for everyone.
Oh, yeah. It is.
It's a frequency I try to stay on.
Yes, and I'm very grateful to everybody for that welcomed me to Salty's chat, like Cut and Shoot and Ranger were the first ones. And actually, even Grateful Nomad was the very first one to welcome me in the chat. I know Cut and Shoot and Ranger were a little hesitant with me at first, but they were still welcoming. And I did apologize to everybody. Oh, you're welcome, Mini-Me. And plus, it gave everybody else a chance to vent their own steam off in the chat, too, for what they seen going on as well, because they see things from a different aspect, not being up on panel, but in the chats themselves. Did you call him a lady?
Trying to remember. I just woke up, Fast Eddie. Didn't have no coffee. Alice is already texting me, telling me about this. Oscar's meowing to go outside. Jaxie wants to play. I haven't had not even a bowl of cereal. It was a early morning.
You don't have to still use orange juice for your cereal, do you? Exposion's letting you use the milk again?
Yeah. Yep. No more sleeping on the couch. I get a pillow and my side of the bed again.
Oh, that is so awesome. I'm so happy. Yeah, so.
And I feel bad that she gets drugged through all this shit, and all she does is sit and chat.
And she's incredibly nice to people. I mean, she doesn't sit there and bash you. She doesn't make you feel unwelcomed, and she doesn't go click crazy on all the new people that show up.
No, and she's always supportive.
And even
for everyone,
Haley and I were fighting, and I was going to her to say defending Tainted, she was staying completely neutral, and I appreciated that from her. I mean, it had nothing to do with getting her on my side. It was just I was venting to somebody who knew us both. And she was what you're supposed to be, completely neutral and unbiased.
And let's give it up for Mini-Me.
Yes. And Mini-Me?
She just got her biopsy reports. She's got cancer in her stomach. It didn't get to her breast or her chest area or any major organ so far as she knows. But she's going to go and starting treatment. So keep her in your thoughts. Prayers to her. And
yes, please. I know she doesn't like to be singled out like this because she feels embarrassed and stuff, but we love you, Mini-Me, and we only want the best for you. And I know we are all really rooting for you.
Cancer is scary. It's one of those, people don't never know when they're going to die. And then when you get cancer, it's like it's almost solidifying that agreement between you and God. It's like, all right, now it's like the final countdown. That's scary. That's scary to go through. Not only that, it's a medical issue and not the best way to go out. So it is scary.
And let's not forget Justice for Harmony and her husband.
Oh, man, but he's a trooper. He's hanging in. I just found out today, too, that it was the other person's fault.
Oh, that is horrible. Yeah, I think last night was the first time I heard about that accident. And I always thought he was awesome, especially when he told JT to suck his dick. That was funny. I loved his little short.
He's a trooper. And he's got that neck brace on, trying to hobble around. He's dealing with insurance. Justice is doing what she can. I posted their GoFundMe link. Even if you have $5, it helps.
Yes, please. And I will be donating myself on on Wednesday or Thursday when I get paid.
Justice is one of those gals who, if you are monetized, or if you need help, she would help. She would be the first to help you.
Oh yes. And she's always had Salty and the Salty Crew's back, always.
So if you can help her out, please do. The link's on my community page.
Yes, please. If
I don't.
somebody has her GoFundMe account, please post that in chat for me. I don't have any mods, I don't think so. I know that's a little hard.
She's not asking for a cadaver dog.
No, or a GoFundMe.
She doesn't want a trip to Cancun. But I can promise you, she won't forget the people who helped her the most when she needed it the most.
Exactly. Exactly.
With
I was
anybody.
trying to
I
figure,
mean,
how
that's
do
what.
you make mods so that way they can do that?
Oh, you have to. So you can't do it through StreamYard. You have to pull up your phone, go into. So you pull up your phone,
Uh-huh.
go into your live on your YouTube channel,
Oh, okay. I am
and then
already on my phone, so I'll have to do that.
you'll see the people in there, and then you just click on them.
All right. So if somebody does have her link, go ahead and post it if you can, and you'll just have to do it the fun way, copy and paste. So we can help her out too. But I love everybody here. It's been an hour and I'm pretty much talked out, which is hard to believe when it comes to me. Ask anyone in my family.
The time can go by real quick. Before you know it, you look at the time, it's like, damn, an hour has gone by already.
Yeah, it has.
It
And
goes by
again,
quick.
thank you all.
I'm glad you're feeling better. Keep positive, stay positive. I used to let a lot of this stuff kind of get to me in a way before, but now it's nothing. Just keep doing you. Keep shining, keep grinding, don't worry about none of this.
Yeah, exactly. And I really don't. It's just I couldn't handle it no more when she was spouting actual lies, because it was like, you know what, if you're gonna do it, at least keep to the point. You're missing the point, and I know you're doing it on purpose to make yourself look better. So thank you, Fast Eddie. So yeah, thank you all for coming, and we will see you over on Salty's a little bit later today, unless he goes on too late, and then I'll have to hop in and out as I work. So
I think it's 10:45, maybe like a 1 or 2 o'clock session.
Yeah. So
I'm still doing behind the scenes stuff
have you
on April
figured out
Cleanup.
your Steam Labs yet, or what's it called?
Streamlabs was my first test last night. Exposing said it is just too much. There's a lot going on. Calm it down, cool it down, figure out a smooth, mellow rhythm. She says that was just too much going on. I was like, oh, that's good input. Critical criticism. No, what?
I always liked
Constructive
criticism, constructive criticism.
constructive criticism is important. Don't take offense. It helps you grow. But yeah,
But she
it's a
said
lot of
it was
work.
a lot as well. I like how you could see the comments up on the stream as well, right up there on the panel with you. That's cool.
It will improve. I gotta find the perfect theme without it producing the migraine effect. But
Yeah.
Streamlabs is cool. It offers more. I like it.
So thank you for joining me. Thank you for hearing me out, you guys, and we'll see you all later.
Absolutely. Have a good day.
You as well. Kiss
Everybody in
Salty from
chat, have a
Eddie.
good one.
Yes. Thank you all. Bye-bye. Thanks, Salty.
You're welcome, Alice.
All right. See you later.